This content contains podcast. This adult
contains podcast content.
Adult content, be advised. Enjoy the episode.
You know what they say, Elsie? Don't shit where you eat.
Yeah, well.
Don't shit where you eat. And you really shouldn't shit where you eat.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
We're ready to start.
Elsie's sick. She's sick.
Yeah, right. Okay. How are we all doing this afternoon?
Better than you. Elsie's poorly and she's not letting us forget it. In fact, she's been poorly for a few days now and we kept saying, oh, you're sick, you're sick, you're sick. Because she's got a cough and is bunged up and she's been like, no, I'm not. I've just got a cough. I'm not. And then even yesterday she was like, my cough's gone. And then this morning she sent a message to the group chat like, I'm just plain sick. We were like, we know. We've known for longer than you. How are you, Laura?
Hot. It's hot.
It is hot.
It's hot. But I've had a good week progressing with things.
Good.
All will be revealed in the fullness of time.
Meg, how are you?
Thank you. I did have to prompt them asking me that, so
don't tell them.
Fuck you guys, I suppose. Yeah,
hey, sometimes you go, how are you both? And then you guys fucking talk about it.
Yeah.
And you're like, how am I? And then
that happens a lot.
Anyway, I had a mole removed from my leg yesterday.
Oh, you did? Yeah.
I'm old now because I've had a bit of my body biopsied. No, it's fine. I did nearly pass out on my way home though, which wasn't great, but
I made her a smoothie when she got home.
Yeah, she did. She made me a smoothie. Smoothie.
Yeah, we've been in a kind of fruit phase.
Yeah, there's a lot of fruit in the house at the minute.
It's too hot to be eating vegetables.
The cold food, the cold
weather food, yeah. I'm going to have probably quiche for dinner.
I've got an oven pizza I'm gonna eat.
I had oven pizza yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah.
Some of the most Meg things. She ordered a shop, and one of the most Meg products ever was in there.
I did quite a tame normal shop, and then 10 to 11 on Monday, which was 10 minutes before the cut-off point for the amends, my brain went, you're hungry.
And you added
you want a pizza.
It was like a German selection of hams and cheeses.
a quiche.
A block of manchego. 3 limes. A very Meg shop.
Yeah.
But and I'm gonna go scran those German meats. One of the things that we
you had a meat and cheese sandwich, and by that I mean meat, cheese, meat, no bread.
When me and my boyfriend go on holiday, one of the things like that we do when we get there is we go to generally the first thing we do is have a nap, and either before we get to the hotel or after we've had this nap, we go to the shop, we buy a pack of continental mystery meat. We get into bed and we scran the fuck out.
You guys are
and that's a relationship.
We are perfect for each other.
See, in this house, we've got a vegan, an omnivore, and I'm right in the middle, and we all get along perfectly well. Why can't everyone do that?
I used to be a vegetarian.
She was briefly vegan.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
I still don't really eat that much meat, to be fair. So
except for when you order a selection of
when I've got to eat apart from a German selection of sausage. Let me live.
It's brat versus summer. Cheers.
That's the cold open.
I think people forget that we do all this sat cross-legged like children in a classroom.
Oh, I don't do any of this cross-legged.
No, she's splayed out right now.
Yeah, try not to look at my vagina.
Meg is sitting how one would sit on a chaise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could draw her like one of you French girls if you were so inclined.
Do a Meg Odalesque.
To be fair, it wouldn't be a very sexy French girl, though.
Why not?
I kind of sit like how at the end of a PE lesson, boys sit on the AstroTurf.
Yeah.
Like, not cross-legged, like...
Like a bisexual.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is how all 12-year-old boys sit after a game around us.
This is just how I imagine footballers sit for their debrief. Anyway, so what are we here to talk about today?
Five in the air, let's do it together. Five to the side, who cares about the weather? Five on the floor, the party's on at your place. Five to the front, there's a smile on my face. Hi, 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 hi. Together, 1, 2, 3, 4. High five. 1, 2, 3, 4. High five. 1, 2, 3, 4. High five. High five in the air, let's do it together. High five.
Last night, we all did most of our watching for this week. And
Yes.
what did we watch, everyone?
High
High
five.
five.
And it was so good. We kept what
yeah.
Laura Kate. Elsie's been out all day. You don't know this, but
No, I
Laura,
had this conversation with her.
Oh
as
yeah,
well.
she came into the living room earlier and she was like, "What is it about High Five that makes it so enjoyable?" I would have been happy to just keep watching it all night.
Yeah.
I don't
like-
know why it was so like entrancing.
It's lovely.
We
I love
kept being
it.
like, "Oh, we need to go to bed." Oh, just another one.
I
Just
know
another
that we're
one.
gonna like get this like filmed and recorded and over with, but do you want to watch them tonight as well?
Maybe.
Maybe.
But there's Love Island tonight.
There's Love Island.
Well, there was Love Island last night as well.
Yeah, so true.
Let's try dancing, twirl me round.
Feet are tapping on the ground.
Swing me this way, that way too.
I love dancing next to you. Will you show me an L? Show me an O. Show me a V.
And finish with an E. L-O-V-E,
I love you and you love me.
L-O-V-E,
That's the way it's meant to be.
L-O-V-E,
I love you and you love me.
L-O-V-E. I love me, you love me.
The way that I would like to do this week, and I know that we kind of change it up every week, we've never really got this down, because
Oh,
it
yeah.
kind of changes from show to show, but I'm going to talk about the very, very brief production history of High Five, because I don't think it's that interesting. And then I'm going to talk about the content very briefly, because I want to move on to... Laura has notes about the educational model that the show is based on, and that is what interests me the most. So, it was the invention, High Five was the invention of Helena Harris, who also worked on Bananas in Pyjamas, another famous Australian kids TV show, and Posey Graham Evans. So they wanted basically a Wiggles for girls as well. So the Wiggles is... You don't know what the Wiggles is?
Is Wiggles for boys?
Well, no, but it only had boys in it.
Oh, okay.
So the Wiggles were... I don't know if they actually had a TV show, but they were certainly a pop group for children, like an educational pop group. One of Australia's biggest children's exports. And they pitched it to Nine, which is a network in Australia, and it was picked up within days of the pitch. They were really, really keen to make it. So it was made by Endemol Australia, formerly known as Southern Star Group, Southern Star Productions, Southern Star Hanna-Barbera Australia, and Taft Hardy Group, Pty Limited. It was Australia's largest independent television production and distribution group.
A lot of fingers in that pie.
Yes, yes. So that's the production company that made it. Nine, Channel 9, or known simply as Nine, is an Australian commercial free-to-air television network. So it was Australian Freeview television. Is that interesting to anyone? I don't know. I don't think it is.
I mean,
Well, if they didn't know it before, they know it now.
yeah.
Yeah.
I love knowing things.
Well,
That's so true. Laura absolutely loves knowing shit.
I said that it was made by Endemol Australia, formerly known as Southern Star Productions,
Yes.
etc. Yes, but the original season with the original cast for the first, I don't know, something like 10 seasons, that was actually made by a production company called Kids Like Us, and then it was bought. incidentally, when that changeover happened, all of the original cast had been pretty much phased out and replaced at that point, and they all kind of left. The first one left after, I think, 8 years, and the last one of the original cast.
It's such an impressive run for an original cast to go 8 years.
Yeah.
The others left after 10.
No,
Yeah,
I know
after
exactly.
10.
Like,
I was just gonna say,
it's just that's so long for a kids' TV show.
Yeah. And also, when this happened, Harris and Graham Evans, they also ended their involvement in the show.
We didn't watch any with not the original, right?
We did not.
Okay.
So there did not seem to be any bad vibes surrounding any of this.
Good.
They just felt like it was their time
No
to leave.
worries,
They'd done it for like a decade, and they met all their replacements. They shared like tips with them. They shared costumes. There was like a proper handover. It received 3 Logie Television Awards, big TV award in Australia,
Logie.
for most for outstanding children's program. It was showered in awards. In fact, it won ARIA awards, which are massive Australian music. It's like a kids TV show in the UK winning a Brit. Like, I was listening to an interview with Kelly from the original cast, and she said, "I've got 5 ARIAs downstairs, and I'm not even a musician. I'm not a singer, really."
Is there a what category?
I don't know.
Okay.
Actually, that's a very good
Because
point.
if there's a kids' music category, that makes sense.
Yeah. So the original show that went from 1999 to 2011. So when I say the original show, I mean on that network. Yes, different presenters over the 595 episodes that there was. But so that was the original show. Then it was sold to Nick Jr., reportedly due to Nine's financial troubles. Nick Jr. made a spin-off called Hi-5 House.
Oh, I was so hoping it was going to be High 6.
Well,
Was
no.
there anything different about it?
No, it was almost exactly the same. Again, that won awards too. It's because it's a great show. The presenters had basically the exact same energy. They were even cast to look kind of the same. And then in 2017, Nine announced a renewed partnership with the Hi-5 brand, and they revived the show for another season. Again, it was almost exactly the same. It was the same length of season. Like, it was only one, but it was, quite a lot of episodes. Different presenters again, and also was showered with awards. So it's pretty much been the same. Like, over the years, a few sections have been added and taken away. There was a puppet, and like a new puppet involved at some point.
Yeah, Jep must have gotten threadbare at some point.
Well, yeah, exactly.
No, he was
That's
sacked
not-
for being a little cunt.
Yeah, honestly.
So yeah, that is a brief history of what the show was. Oh, also, over the length of time that the original show was going on, they toured a lot. They also formed like a pop group for children that was beyond the show. So they toured Australia, Singapore, New Zealand, and the UK. They really wanted to do America, and they never did. America still had it because they had their own version, but they simply didn't have time in the year because
They had to film the show.
yeah, they would film for 3 months. They would tour for the rest of the year. They would film for 2.5 hours a day and rehearse for the rest. They were together constantly for
10 years.
10 years. I'll talk about like the relationships on and off the show in a little bit, but they were kids. The youngest was 18, the oldest was 24 when they started, and they were there for 10 years, and they worked so hard. They were exhausted, but something that they have said, always said, is that they loved each other, and what kept them going was the energy that the kids gave them. They loved performing for the kids so much because it actually gave them energy to do it.
Yeah.
So So
I've been
yeah.
around energetic kids, and let me tell you, they did not spurn me on at all.
Well, quite clearly they're better people than you.
yeah,
And we can,
yeah.
and me. It's quite amazing what they did. So that's a brief history of the show. I'm just going to quickly run down the content, and then I'm going to hand over to Laura.
Listen to my heartbeat.
Listen to my heartbeat.
Feel the thumping rhythm from my head down to my feet. Listen to my heartbeat.
Listen to my heartbeat.
Dancing and spinning and feeling free.
Listen to my heartbeat. Moving with my feet. Listen to the beat with me. Work it out.
It starts with a song of the week, and the song will relate to various themes that are touched on for that set of episodes. So, for example, there's a song called Heartbeat. It was all about being active and working out, and that was used at the beginning and end of each episode for like a 5-episode run that was all about movement and sport. There's a song about rain, and that was used at the beginning and end of a set of episodes about nature and being outside, and that is how the series was kind of structured.
Yeah.
So we start the episode with all 5 members performing that in front of a studio audience of tiny children that are doing their little best to keep up with the dance moves.
Or fucking zoning out.
Yeah, or just zoning out. I mean, watching that audience of kids in the studio, like trying to dance or not, is so entertaining.
Yeah.
They're so cute, and they're all doing like, some of them are doing a good job and some of them are not. But you know, it must have been a nightmare to control that set on those days. But there you go. And then we go to the individual segments. So each segment has one cast member in their individual set. They do sometimes get other cast members involved, but not always. And sometimes there's a puppet. At the end of the episode, the cast all come back together again. One of them reads from a storybook and the others act out the story. And then they sing the song again, and that's the episode. And it's half an hour long, which is really quite long for
Kids,
something
yeah.
for tiny children.
Hi, I'm Nathan.
Hi, I'm Charlie. Hi, I'm Kathleen.
Hi, I'm Tim.
Hi, I'm Kelly.
And together, we're Hi-5.
Each presenter takes a different way of learning and presenting and playing with that topic. So the sections are called as thus: Puzzles and Patterns, which focuses on logical thinking and mathematics. Not in those explicit terms, but that's kind of the style of learning it's trying to use. That is presented by Kathleen, who is in a set made entirely of cupboards, and a puppet called Jup Jup, who's always secretly jumping out of cupboards and
Kleptomaniac.
yeah, stealing things from her, and that forces her to solve problems.
I've got some exercise cards. Hey, where did my exercise cards go? Ah, there they are. Hang on a second. These don't have any exercises on them. Huh. Well, let's have a look at the cards anyway. Okay, well, this has a picture of some scissors on it. Hey, the bottom of these scissors look a bit like legs. Maybe I can make some scissors movements with my legs. Okay, open, close, open, close. Excellent, that can be my first exercise. Open, close, open, close. Toaster. I wonder... the bread in a toaster. Well, that goes, down and up. Down and up. That could be my second exercise. Down and up. Down and up. Wow, what a cool workout. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. It's Kathleen's exercise time. And I feel fine. Legs to the side, move them out wide, and jump Ready? Who's ready?
Musicality, that's presented by Tim. It's often him just like hitting things and making a noise and talking about various instruments.
Cool water for Charlie's picnic. Bubbly water too. Hey, I like that sound. I didn't know water in a bottle could make such a great noise. Swish, swish. It's a water bottle shaker.
Crunchy cereal. Crunch,
Hey.
crunch.
Cereal. That gives me a great idea, Kathleen. Do you have any leftover cereal?
Lucky for you, I happen to have some leftover cereal in this cereal box. Ta-da!
Fantastic. I'm gonna make some shakers, see? A cereal box shaker and a water bottle shaker.
Excellent.
Come on, shake it with me, Kathleen.
Shake, shake, shake down low. Twist, twist, twist on the spot. Shake, shake, shake up high. Give it all you've got.
Shapes in Space is performed by Nathan, and that's set in a set with like everyday objects and shapes and materials and boxes and Play-Doh and stuff like that. He's like interacting with a lot of things.
Thought I might build my own pretend water tank today. So, ta-da! I'm Nathan the plumber. I've got my tool belt on and my plumbing tools. Spinner and hammer. Well, I think I'm ready to go. Now I need to connect this water tank to this tap over here using some water pipes. Aha. Now these cylinders would make fantastic water pipes.
There's a section all about linguistic and oral skills. Now, I had to read about this to know that it was about linguistics and oral skills because I couldn't pick up on that watching it, but that's presented by Kelly, and she's with a puppet called Chatterbox. So she interacts with that puppet.
Oh, look, Chat. My hat is wringing wet.
You're drenched from head to toe, Cal.
My jacket's dripping wet. And my hat is wringing wet.
There's water everywhere.
So many words for water, a bucket full of words for rain. I'm dripping wet, I'm wringing wet, I'm drenched and soaked and soggy. So many words for water, let's sing them all again. Dripping, wringing, soaking, drenched and soggy from the rain.
And the last section is called Body Move, which is presented by...
Don't tell me what to do.
It's presented by Charlie.
Bounce, bounce. I can bounce the ball while I run. Bounce, dribble, 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 which is really, really fun. Dribble, dribble, dribble. I can throw the ball up high. Throw, catch. Throw, catch. Then it falls down from the sky. Throw, catch. Throw, catch. I can kick the ball a long, long way. Kick, oh, kick, kick. I think I'll kick some more today. Kick, kick, and kick. Ah, that really did go a long, long way.
So this one has no set dressing, no props. It's usually shorter than the others, and it goes in between each section. So it sort of summarises the section that's gone before by repeating the songs that might have appeared in that section, and it basically just uses body language and dance to summarise the section we just saw. It's yes, exactly. So, and sometimes they blend into each other, so it's not strictly regimented. So puzzles and patterns might talk about different sounds, for example, even though it's not in the musicality section, because it's more about the way that the thing is being presented.
Come on, let's do some dog exercises. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. It's doggies exercise time. And I feel fine. Paws to the side, move them all wide. Shake all around and make a rough sound. Then count to 10 and do it all again. What do you think, doggies out there? Should we do it again? Yeah? All right.
Yeah, the theory is that each child learns in a different way, and each cast member has a specific segment within the show that targets a different aspect of learning. And Elena Harris, her idea was that each viewer would have a favourite cast member corresponding to their way of learning. So the reason it is structured this way is because the show is based on Howard Gardner's theory of multiple intelligences. And when I read that, I thought, well, that makes sense to me, but I don't know about Howard Gardner. So Laura, hi. What can you tell us about that?
Right, so even in your explaining there, it's gonna identify a key problem with how Howard Gardner's theory kind of gets applied in learning environments, because it isn't learning styles. That's not what it is. I'll get into what learning styles are and how we probably know about learning styles from our time at primary school. But yeah, so the theory of multiple intelligences, which I think is really easy to kind of get a bit muddled with a lot of other very similar sounding theories and stuff. So he proposes his theory of intelligence, which breaks down into, I'm gonna read the full thing. So it's this like circle with 8 sections, and it's like musical, music smart, bodily kinesthetic, body smart, intrapersonal, people smart, verbal linguistic, word smart, logical mathematical, logic smart, naturalistic, nature smart, intrapersonal, self smart, visual spatial, picture smart, right? But it's widely penned. Like, his theory is massively debunked. It's called like a neuromyth by some psychologists.
My God, when?
So he started his writing about his theory in the 70s. So his perspective renders that any interest or ability can be redefined as an intelligence, which sort of is impossible to test and renders it kind of mute. He thought...
Moot?
Yeah.
Renders it moot.
Yeah, that's what I said.
You said mute.
I said mute. Okay, well. I meant mute.
It renders it very quiet.
So he stated that intelligence is a biophysical potential to process information that can be activated in a cultural setting to solve problems or create products that are of value in a culture, which is,
okay,
from my perspective, kind of just a little bit meaningless. A little bit. Because
Why is it meaningless?
Just because it's so general and so broad that it doesn't really mean much.
Okay.
Because so I was talking to Mike about this earlier, because I've found my second year lecture about intelligence and like my notes on it, and he's in here, and psychologists hate him.
Okay.
Don't like his theories. He also doesn't respond to them very well. Like criticisms, he doesn't respond well. Psychologists said it's made up of a bunch of hunches and opinions, uniquely devoid of psychometric or other quantitative evidence.
Oh, wow, okay. So he was just saying shit.
Kinda.
Okay.
Kinda. So, like, it's not learning styles. I think I said that, yeah. So it proposes a differentiation of intelligence into specific intelligences rather than defining intelligence as a single quantity. So the issue there is, in his theory, being music smart does not translate to being smart. It only is music smart. When what is more evidence-based is when you are music smart, you tend to also be other things smart, because it's a general process, or at least the traditional definition of intelligence is a general process where you're good at one thing and you're naturally quite good at other things as well.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, to be good at playing the drums, you have to be quite good at maths.
Kind of that kind of thing, yeah. And he overly narrows it and places more emphasis, he overemphasizes the domains rather than the general overall process. So, mind you, traditional intelligence thinking overemphasizes the process and underemphasizes the domains. So there's problems both ways. Like, I don't think there's no value in his theories. And you can kind of see how it plays out in the show, their whole nature one, right? Helping with nature smart. The learning styles thing, Howard Gardner himself has talked about how education, like schools, misinterpreted his theories too much and applied it in ways that he didn't like and he didn't agree with, and conflated it way too much with learning styles, right?
Death of the author.
So learning styles, because this is what I was looking for in the show a little bit, and I think the show I think conflates it as well, right? Because they are trying. So what I did at primary school, I remember doing this, was VAK, which is
No idea.
okay.
Value added CAC.
No. So it's a model put forward by Bob and colleagues, which is the 3 styles of learning: visual modality, auditory modality, and kinesthetic modality. So you learn by looking, learn by listening, learn by doing. And I remember in year 5, we were given like a quiz to see what kind of learner we are.
I kind of remember that as well. I remember thinking, well, none of these really. I just do the lessons.
Well, here's the thing. That's also been widely debunked.
Right, yeah.
I don't remember ever doing anything like that, and it took me till university to realise that I am not a visual learner in like any way. Like,
well, that makes sense. You don't have the pictures.
Yeah, I forget a text as soon as I've sent it, and it literally took me till then that like, writing things out over and over and over is just not doing anything for me. I wish they'd given me a quiz when I was a kid,
but like, even if they did,
yeah, but I at least might have thought about it.
Yeah, no, that's true. I
remember doing this quiz and thinking like, a bit of all of them, please. I think that'll all help. That's the thing. To be honest,
part of the problem with this is that unless you structure your educational delivery for each individual child, it doesn't matter. Because children aren't going to be one single sort of method of learning, because different subjects, firstly, you can't teach fucking simultaneous equations kinesthetically, right? You can't. But it's also like, you'd have to create tests that very, very concretely derived kids into learning way A, learning way B, and then put them in those classes. Or you have an educational system designed for one child and then like you tailor it for each one, which you can't do. Like, that just doesn't exist. There's not the resources in state schools to do that, right? You'd have to homeschool your kid to get that.
So talk a bit about how the show fits into this.
So the show,
I think it... Sorry to just ask you a question and then completely cut you off. I think the show is good.
Yeah, like...
I'm so glad you interrupted with that insightful piece of knowledge there. Sorry, Laura, just to cut you off. I think the show is good.
I think it's got a lot of variation, a lot of good ways of... I'm unwell. Go on.
Like, I think it takes these intelligences that Gardner came up with and applies that to its narrow sort of topic structure that they do quite well. It's just a shame that the theoretical foundation for this is flawed.
Well, I think because you're doing it on a basic level for, primary school children, it's the basic thing that is being said here is people are good at different things. People learn in different ways.
Yeah.
And when it's not an experiment, is it?
No.
So it works well in the sense of adding variety and catering to everybody. So at that basic level, it's never going to be harmful in any way,
No, 100%.
Yeah.
Like, they're not, because this isn't a school, this isn't structuring and changing society to fit a flawed theory. It's a TV show that is using a fairly diverse model of intelligence to apply to its topics, which I think is good. Because like, how frequently do you see nature smart being applied in kids' TV? Like, quite actively trying to go for each of these different areas. I think it's good in that sense. It's just a shame the theory sucks and Gardner's a bit of a whiny bitch.
Divergent tried to do this.
What faction were you in? Abdication?
Some amateur shit over here. No, I don't remember. I think
Remind me what Amity was.
Farmers.
Yes, that's right.
The nature smart people.
Yes, they were the hippies.
I was in Candor, I think.
Oh, that's clever.
That sounds
that's
honest.
That's right, and erudite was clever, and abdication was selfless,
and then dauntless
was brave.
Fuckers.
Yeah, thick.
Jocks.
Dauntless was BTEC PE. I'm so sorry if you did BTEC PE.
Honestly, you're winning at life. But imagine being someone that was able to do that.
I couldn't do BTEC PE. I had to do English literature. I'd much rather have done BTEC PE
Honestly.
if I could have been, if I'd been able to do it.
People make fun of BTEC sports, but like they're the happiest people.
Yeah.
I will say, sorry to go back to fucking psychology, that I don't think this is a great show for actually learning. Like, I don't think pure learning happens.
Well, I don't know if it was for learning. I think it was more of like introducing children into being more curious about their surroundings, and being more confident and bringing them out of themselves, and
in which case I think it did a great
being
job.
like curious about the world,
Which is educational in a way.
Yeah, no, I know. I mean,
how much learning can you do when you're 4?
Because
like it is just seeing things, colours and shapes.
When I was reading this section, like on their Wikipedia page, it has that like educational theory. I was like, and then we went to watch it, and I was like, I don't know how learny this is. Showing off my linguistic skills there. Learny.
Wow, that's a toy bulldozer. Must belong to Chats. Hey, Chats, are you at home? Sounds like she's at home.
Hi, Cal.
Hi, Chats.
You're playing with my cat.
Your cat? Where? Where's your cat?
You're holding it.
What, this?
Yep, I call him Cat for short. He's really a caterpillar.
A caterpillar? Are you sure?
Quite sure. Look, it even says caterpillar on the side.
Oh, yeah, it does too. Cat, pill. Ah, caterpillar. And I always thought it was a bulldozer. You know, for moving earth and soil.
It is a bulldozer, Cal, but it's also called a caterpillar.
Maybe it's called a caterpillar because of the way it crawls along the ground.
Actually, before we go on, I messaged my mum a few days ago because we had a DVD of this as kids, me and my brother and sister, and I know that my mum and dad saw quite a lot of it, and I had a memory of them actually really enjoying it, and they're both looking at me my dad really fancied Charlie, so and then we started watching it. Yeah,
he's got that DVD on his shoebox under his bed.
That DVD is burned out.
Don't be disgusting. We don't have a DVD player, so we were watching it last night, and we were like, oh my god, maybe we fancy Charlie as well. She's so fit.
I actually think of all the people, that is the most acceptable one for him to fancy, because she does look a bit like your mum. I think, anyway.
That'll make my mum's day for you to say that. I'm not disagreeing, I'm just saying, like, she'll be delighted with that.
Like, in my head, your mum's, cute and she bounces around, so...
Aww. Well, my dad fancied a member of Bananarama, and he insists that she looks like my mum. And none of us can see it, but it's nice, isn't it?
Gonna ask my boyfriend to start, every time he fancies someone, he has to say that she looks like... He's gonna have to start convincing me that he thinks Margot Robbie looks like me. Which she doesn't.
I'm laughing because you're so much hotter.
Oh, that's not true, but thanks.
I'm not laughing because it's pretend.
You bitch.
So I messaged my mum, I said, what do you remember about MI Jesus. This is what she said. Australian. Attractive Charlie. Jup Jup. And then she said one of the boys had a perm. And then she said, did the boys wear really short shorts? And I knew she would mention Charlie. I knew she would mention what she called attractive Charlie.
Have you considered that maybe they fancied her together?
No, but it's possible.
It brings a couple together.
It does, doesn't it? So I said, yes, you're right. Jup Jup was the name of the puppet that jumped out from the wall and stole things. She's wrong. The boys did not wear short shorts, but...
I love that your mum was like, "Ooh, I remember those boys wearing short shorts."
She's rewritten the memory because she wants to remember short shorts.
I think that's what's happened because given the vibe of the show and the vibe of those people, what she's done is she's thought about the cast and imagined them how they should be.
Also, just like Australians generally,
It just makes sense. I can see why she's put that in there. But then she did say, not that it matters, but the girls were all so much more attractive than the boys, which I think is really doing the boys a disservice. I don't think that's fair. They were all beautiful, shiny young Australians.
Shiny, happy people, shiny young Australians.
Shiny, happy people,
Yeah.
exactly. Then a little bit later on, I got a message from her and she said, Dad only remembers Charlie. So... the cast. Let's talk about the cast. I'll go through each one and then we can talk about our experience of watching it last night. What are you going to say, Meg?
When's your dad's birthday?
It was this week. It's gone.
Oh, you should have sent him a card with Charlie.
No,
on
you
it.
should have sent him a cardboard cutout.
Maybe I still will. I don't know. Christmas, maybe?
Well, they used to get us chocolate. Let's send him a cutout.
Yeah, they still do. Meg's mum sends us chocolate.
No, I'm talking about your parents.
Well, they did also get us chocolate, yeah. So, sorry everyone. Right.
Rain, rain, go away. Come again another day. Rain, rain, go away. Come again another day.
Woke up this morning to a brand new day. Nothing's gonna stop me or get in my way. Rain, hail, or shine, I'm ready for it all. I'm feeling right on top.
Feeling right on top.
And I'm never gonna fall.
Kelly Crawford, 24 when the show started. They were looking for 18 to 22-year-olds. She auditioned anyway and she got lucky. So... sorry, she didn't get lucky. She's very talented lady.
She was chosen rightfully.
Yes. So she was in a band called Teen Queens in 1991. So that was a TV show about a band set in the 60s, and it did like covers of 60s songs. They've got a really good version of Be My Baby by the Ronettes. Then they released a single. It did really well, and they decided... the TV show isn't doing as well as this single, let's just make them a band, which she was kind of nervous about because she's like, I'm an actor, not a singer. But they were a band for
Triple
a while.
threat.
She is now. She was featured in a racy Ralph cover story following her exit from MI5. A lot of people were very unhappy with her for
Her
that.
exit from what?
Hi-5. You said MI5.
Did I?
Yeah. Sorry, I think I did that the other day as well.
Again, how many times can I say that I'm very unwell?
Sorry, do you want us to
Sorry,
not
I didn't
correct
realise you were stupid as well.
Do you want us to leave in mistakes, Els?
No, right. She is now a freelance TV actor and voiceover artist. Kathleen D. Leon Jones, 21 when she started. There's not that much to say about her, to be honest. She married Daniel Jones from Savage Garden.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's pretty cool. Nathan Foley, now, he was 19 when he started. On his mother's side, he is Yuin. So the Yuin people are Indigenous Australian people. He has been in bands since he was 10. He's been in a bunch of different genre bands. Big old musical theatre performer, brilliant dancer, brilliant singer, just like a general all-round performer. He's done cruises,
Still
he's done
doing
talent
music.
shows. Yeah, still doing music. So in 2019, he auditioned for The Voice, was eliminated in the first knockout rounds.
Whoops.
In Australia, they had their own... Do you remember How Do You Solve a Problem Like Maria?
Yeah.
It was a game show where... It was a talent show where they chose the next... It was like X Factor, but the prize was being in a West End musical. So they were
Okay.
all competing for a role.
Is that from The Sound of Music?
Yeah.
Okay,
So that was for
yeah.
Maria. They
Okay.
they did Over the Rainbow, and that was the Dorothy one. So he was in Australia's version, and it was called I Will Survive, and it was for Priscilla, Queen of the Desert.
Nice.
He was in the top 3 for that. His 7th studio album, called Hurricane, came out in 2022. He's the one with a perm. Came as a shock to me, not to Laura, who saw right through him, but he's straight.
And what's wrong with that?
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being straight. I don't want anyone to think that...
Listen. Elsie's straight. She's not saying that.
And there's nothing wrong with being straight. I'm just saying, why is Nathan Foley from
Hey, you know, MI5 is one of the biggest hires of gay people in the UK.
I know. Mad, isn't it? Yeah. So, who else? Tim Harding. He was 20 when it started. He's a multi-talented musician and instrumentalist. He left same time as everyone else, but he left because he broke his back riding a motorcycle.
Oh, yeah,
and a bunch of his
I thought you were
toes.
going to say on the show, and I'm like,
No,
Jesus
no.
fucking Christ, how?
He broke his back and some toes in a motorcycle accident.
This is why you shouldn't ride motorcycles. They're so dangerous.
Yeah, it's a shame, isn't it? But presumably he's fine because he's a keen surfer.
Oh,
to
yeah.
this day, so he's probably all right.
He looks like he surfs.
Yeah, he does. He does look like he surfs, and he also voices Jup Jup. He's Jup Jup.
You little prick.
Oh, okay, that kind of makes some sense.
I don't know how he does that voice, but Charlie Robinson, the one my dad fancies, was 18 when she started on Hi-5. She now presents a bunch of Australian TV shows, radio shows. She's a presenter. And Kelly and Nathan started dating in 2002. They were engaged to be married in 2005. The engagement was called off. They both married different people. But
How soon
yeah,
after?
that happened.
Hasn't she been? She's been married a few times and didn't one of her partners die? She was married to a guy for 10 years and
she got married in 2008 and he died in 2018.
Damn,
Yeah.
sad.
That's
Yeah.
very sad.
Yeah.
Wait, is she married again?
I think she's with someone now. I think.
Oh,
But,
I
yeah,
hope
don't know.
she's happy.
Yeah.
She's clearly having no problem finding people.
Well, I was watching a lot of the information that I'm relaying to you I got from a podcast called The Purple Road, which is one of the Barney actors interviewing kids TV stars, and she looks brilliant. I mean, they all look great still.
Do you know what's very popular in Australia? Sun cream.
Yeah.
I think I might lie here in the sun and have a rest.
But just then, Molly's good friend Chloe the crab crawled out from under a rock.
Molly, are you wearing sunscreen?
No, because it's not beautiful. And you know how I want to look beautiful all the time.
But you've got to wear sunscreen.
But you don't wear any.
Well, I'm a crab. I've got a suit that protects me from the sun all the time. See?
So she just looks great, and she looks like she's doing really well. So that made me very happy. And in fact, I've watched interviews with all of them, and they all just look back on it with such fondness.
Exhaustion and fondness.
Exhaustion and fondness. The casting process went like this. They asked for musical theatre people, and Kelly said that she walked past a queue of like 100 people, and she knew she was too old as well, and she wasn't a musical theatre person, and they were all preparing their musical theatre.
You miss all the shots you don't take.
Exactly. And she was like walking past people that were preparing like musical theatre songs to audition with. She auditioned with Borderline by Beyonce, and they were like, have you prepared a dance? And she was like, I was just going to dance along with the track.
And that is exactly the kind of energy we want on this show.
And they were they had like 5 groups of 5, and they were sort of trying to pair everyone up. And
Very 90s.
well, exactly, yeah, the manufactured bands. And they got those 5 in a room, and the reason that they cast those 5 is because they harmonized so beautifully. Their voices sounded like one voice. Chris Harriott was the music person. He composed all the songs, so you know, a fuck ton of songs, like a lot of fucking. There's like 8 songs an episode, and there's 595 episodes.
Come on, you have it. What you gonna do with the pop star parrots? Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Skeleton bones rattle and shake, legs and arms quiver and quake, pelvis and hips swing side to side, backbone bends, ribs on each side.
Taekwondo, taekwondo. You can do it fast or you can do it slow. Assume position, arms like so. Step forward and punch. Come on, let's go. Step back and block. Arms down low. Taekwondo, taekwondo. Hi-ya!
Ba-ba-ba blowing, ba-ba bubbles, ba-ba-ba beautiful, ba-ba bubbles, ba-ba-ba blowing, ba-ba bubbles, ba-ba-ba beautiful, ba-ba bubbles.
A little pig was rolling in the muddy muck, so lucky to be mucky, but then he was stuck. Along came a duck, quack, quacking all around, and said to the pig,
I'll help you out of the ground.
He was, you know, part of the auditions, and he was like, these guys sound, they just blend so well. No one's competing with each other. They just sound excellent. So that's why those 5 were cast. And they were busy. They worked so hard. I mean, I'm quoting Nathan directly here. I was buggered. They visited children's hospitals all the time. They toured all over the place. The music was, it was commercially popular. Like, the lyrics were for kids, but it sounded like it could have been played on the radio. Yeah, in my notes I've got a couple of different like little anecdotes, but I want to hand over to you two because I've been doing so much talking.
And you really need to let your voice rest.
I know. Is it sexy or gross?
Neither.
Thanks. Cheers. That was a correct answer there. Right.
Do you want to start?
I really enjoyed it, yeah. Really good show.
Yeah, weirdly good. I don't know why. It was so entertaining.
Oh, we were sucked in.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was like... I feel like it was our collective viewing of it that made it enjoyable.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think
for sure.
if you were watching it on your own as an adult, you might be a bit bored.
I'd love to know how much they got paid to do some of this shit.
Yeah. So explain... This is a difficult one because... In the making of this podcast, now, this is a podcast for adults, and we've made comments about shows that are for children that are maybe not comments that should be heard by children. My defense always is that children these days aren't watching the shows that we're talking about, and this podcast isn't going to reach children's ears. But...
Or shouldn't reach.
Shouldn't.
Yeah.
But people get upset sometimes when... we
apply adult thinking.
Yeah.
Do you know what the most recent one people have hated is?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. We posted a clip literally weeks ago now. It was just a clip of Rainbow, and the video caption was posting Rainbow for Pride Month. And weeks ago, when people are still commenting, don't associate Rainbow with gays, fuck your pride, you've ruined my childhood. It's like, calm down.
And it's also like, of all the kids' TV shows, Rainbow is kind of, the makers knew what they were doing, and they knew what they were doing.
And I just want to say, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, fuck you, actually.
Yeah, if you're mad about it, fuck you.
Die mad.
Literally die mad, yeah. Sorry, but...
Cry more.
Yeah,
We've
just gotta be said, fuck off.
Like, we've not reached through history and tagged everything gay. Like, we haven't done that. Like,
Yeah, but even if I did, what's wrong with that?
no, I know, I agree, but it's also like it's just a video that we posted on Instagram.
Yeah, people love to be mad at stuff. Why are you choosing to be mad at this? Surely you'd be so much nicer if you went through your day not like this. And the one thing that I like try to remind myself of is like, people who are like this, you've got beef with life. Like there's something worse going on in your life that's made you like this, and I feel sorry for you. But also, fuck you. Like, you don't. I hate when people are like, oh my god, the woke left, they're such snowflakes. It's like, you're the one commenting angrily on this video that means nothing. And like, what's so weird is that most of the time I don't even look at the comments, and yeah, I happened to see one time, and then now I keep going back to see if anyone's commented anything more homophobic on this video that I can, delete or respond to.
Me and Laura spend a fair amount of time holding Meg back from replying things that might make our brand look mean.
If you've ever had a reply,
Meg, come on.
if you've ever had a reply to a comment that felt a bit, I want to say passive aggressive, but just aggressive.
Active aggressive.
It was Meg.
Look, if you're not commenting shit like that, you're not getting a reply like that.
Yeah.
Fundamentally.
And also, can I revise one of Meg's statements? We do read your comments. We do.
No,
it's just that from we don't read comments from things that are weeks back.
No, what I mean is we do, but generally, so many comments are coming through in a day.
Yeah,
I'm at work.
true.
I'm not sat
Yeah.
looking through the comments. So a lot of homophobic comments will slip through the net, and it was one comment that's now meant I have to keep going back and like deleting these comments or replying to them, because I don't want people to look at the comments and be like, oh, that's a homophobic comment, and they've let it.
We're not going to let that lie. Like, we are obviously pro-gay.
It's what happens when your content leaves your circle. Like, it happens on the viral clips, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we need to see. I didn't know if we were going to talk about this. So
I say fuck it. Let's just talk about it, because
this is part of the whole thing.
Of course,
right?
it is. This is why we exist.
I'll tell you why we should talk about it. Because while we were watching last night and we were going back to replay bits, as in like God, did we just see that right? YouTube tells you the most replayed bits, and the bits we were replaying were what everyone else was replaying. So we're not the first people who've had these thoughts.
Yeah. So in the very first paragraph of Hi-5's Wikipedia page, it says it sparked controversy for what could be considered appropriate in kids' TV. So then I was primed to be mad, because the main comment is that the adults in the show, who basically act like they're older siblings of the kids that are watching.
Yeah.
They don't talk down to anyone. It's very natural. Their energy isn't too much. It's not annoying. It's perfectly pitched. And the main comment is that they're dressed inappropriately.
Oh.
And I was ready to be mad, because even in their live shows, and this is Australia, they only have their arms and shoulders out.
Yeah, I mean...
And I was ready to be like, just because you fancy these people does not mean that what they're doing is obscene. It's like, for example, everything that James McAvoy does in his CBeebies bedtime stories, all of that is appropriate for children. My personal thoughts about that are not appropriate for children, but it doesn't mean that what he's creating is bad, right? So I was ready to be mad about this, and then we sat down to watch it.
Meow.
Hi, I'm Charlie Cat, looking for something to do, actually. I think there's a ball under my couch. Oh, no ball, but it did give my paws and legs a good stretch. Are you cats out there looking for your ball? No? Well, hop to it. Bottoms up and stretch one paw forward and the other paw forward. No ball. I've got to find something else to do. Lazy cat, looking for something to do. Lazy cat, I love you. You do exactly as you please. You really are a tease. Lazy cat, I love you.
And I can see why.
Not the clothes. The clothes
Not
are
the
fine.
clothes. Clothes are fine. In fact, they're excellent.
I love some of the clothes.
Yeah.
Some of the clothes are weird, but a lot of them, I love their like plastic clogs.
2000s, like
Yeah.
like choppy hair
Yeah.
and layers.
Yeah.
And love it.
This is my general stance on on this attitude towards things is you shouldn't be angry if someone, for example, watches Tots TV and goes, haha, maybe they're a throuple. And you shouldn't be like, oh, you're taking something that's innocent and making it something that it's not. You should be angry if people watch it, see, oh, they could be a throuple, therefore it is disgusting and you should not show it to kids because adults might think that they're a throuple, right? That's what you should be mad about, because we know that there is nothing inherently wrong with what's going on. We're just making a little joke about it. It's people who are like, you shouldn't be showing that on TV to kids. It's like, no, you're the one that's taking this in the wrong way.
Yeah, it's like we were watching the Charlie segments, and well, let's explain why we were finding these a little bit questionable.
Also, one reason is they do this in every segment, but I feel like because hers has the least extra stuff going on, it's the most
it's all
extreme.
based on her, and hers is the movement
Yeah.
one.
So when they will occasionally look directly into the camera and talk directly into the camera, which is a little bit off balancing from normal telly, right? So that makes some of these scenes a little bit more intense than they need to be.
I want to preface everything we're about to say with, we think she's fantastic.
Yeah.
She's brilliant.
She's brilliant.
And nothing she's doing is wrong, and nothing she's doing is inappropriate.
Or intentional. I don't think any of this
yeah.
intentional. I think all of this
Yeah.
is accidental, looking at it through an adult lens and having our minds in the gutter.
Yeah. So, a lot of things it's very movement based. Often she's dressed as different types of animals. There's one where she's dressed as a cat and she's like crawling about, and
There's one where she's dressed as a pig.
there's one where she's dressed as a pig
rolling
and
around
she's
in mud.
rolling around in mud. She does a lot of rolling around on the floor. And if you're an adult and you're watching it, there are moments, like explicit moments, where you can be like, for someone, that is fetish content. And there's a difference between watching it and having a laugh about it and watching a kids' TV show and going, look at how obscene this is. And I think the second reaction says more about you.
Well,
That's what I have to say about
a kid's
it.
not going to read anything into that, because if a kid did that, like a kid is pretending to be a cat, that's
Fine.
totally fucking
Yeah.
fine.
And
I mean, they are going to grow up to be a hooer, but
I mean,
but you can't say that.
a 5-year-old watching that is having a great time,
Yeah.
and there's nothing wrong with it, and it makes it more entertaining for us to
Yeah.
watch.
And it's like, just because you as an adult recognise that she is objectively gorgeous,
Yeah.
like it doesn't
Yeah.
yeah it doesn't mean anything. So we were like, honestly, we were beside ourselves. We were like, it was hysterical. It's hysterical to
Get
watch.
some mates, make a drinking game out of it. You'd have a hell of a time.
Not in a pervy way.
Not in a pervy way, no.
No,
Well,
it was-
maybe in a bit of a pervy way, but
It
doesn't
really
matter.
funny. It was just so funny. The only scenario I could see where this would be a bit odd is if you are watching it with like adults and there's a kid also watching it with you, and the adults start laughing and the kid goes, "What's funny?" It's like nothing.
I could just guarantee you we would not have brought this up if we hadn't noticed that everyone else was rewinding the same bits that we were, and I really hope that was in a
We should have read the comments.
in a pure that's very funny kind of way, like we were doing.
Yeah.
You disgusting freaks.
You filthy animals.
A pair of feet, a bare pair of feet. We love it with no shoes on. We love it when we're bare. We can wriggle our toes or tickle our soles. Skin we love to wear. My feet love having a dance. But what about we do some stretches now? Maybe some pointing and flexing? You two? Point and flex. Point and flex.
Right, so we've covered that. We've covered that now.
Oh, it's on YouTube for kids, so there's no comments.
Well, just as well, I think.
That's why.
I think it is just as well. Glad we got that over with. So, because Charlie is a radio presenter and she does lots of interviews, she was interviewing One Direction when they were like still One Direction and they were like
Babies.
They were massive, yeah. And she was like, oh my God, it's One Direction. And they were like, oh my God, it's Charlie. Because that, it's global and everyone knows who they are.
Well, I was unaware of this show.
Which is so weird because they toured Singapore.
When I wasn't
11.
there.
She was 11.
Yeah, we're 25 and we spent last night watching it.
Yeah.
Presumably they toured Singapore way before I got there.
Bring a little love to my heart, 'cause friends are never far apart. And I can say that you will stay my friend forevermore. Friends forever and ever and ever. Friends forever and evermore. Anytime, anywhere. When you need a friend, then I'll be there. Oh, anytime, anywhere. 'Cause we're friends. Anytime, anywhere. When you need a friend, then I'll be there. Oh, anytime, anywhere. 'Cause we're friends. 'Cause we're friends. 'Cause we're friends. 'Cause we're friends.
So Kathleen, the first person to leave after 8 years, because she had a baby and she wanted to...
Selfish.
Right, honestly.
Selfish.
Yeah. So she, in the episode about babies, she came back on the show. So she was replaced by a woman called Sun, another Filipino woman. And she went on to Sun's section, which was her section, which was puzzles and patterns.
She better have come out of a cupboard with a baby.
She didn't, but she had her baby. She had her baby. And the rest of the cast all came into the set and all of them sung a song to Kathleen's baby.
Oh, that's so cute.
I know.
We should watch that episode.
Well, someone special left this here for your baby, Kathleen. I'm not sure who.
Oh, I wonder.
Oh, it's so good to see Michaela today. She's so beautiful.
Little baby, little one, growing every day. We're so glad that you are here. Little baby, little one, it's so good to see this little baby, so sweet and dear.
Hello. Oh, hi guys. Well, it's so good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Look, here's little Michaela.
Oh, she's beautiful, Kathleen.
Hold her.
Yeah. She loves mummy.
Oh, she looks a little bit like you, Kathleen.
Yeah, only smaller.
Oh, hi.
Hey, why don't we sing for Michaela in the Hi-5 way?
Yeah, great idea.
Little baby, little one, growing every day. We're so glad that you are here. Little baby, little one, it's so good to see little Michaela, so sweet and dear.
Oh, thanks so much, guys.
I think she loved our singing.
Yeah, I think she did.
She wants to sing.
Oh, guys, look. Oh, a little teddy bear. Oh, with a little heart. Oh, beautiful.
I wonder who left that there.
Oh, I think I know. Well, thanks, special someone. And thanks so much, guys, for making little Michaela feel so special.
So speaking of the live shows, so in the early days, Kelly and Tim were housemates, and they were going to do a shopping centre show to sort of test it out. The show had been airing for 2 weeks at that point, so they were expecting a small audience. Yeah. On this morning, Tim was really, really unwell. That doesn't really relate to the story, it's just a detail.
Okay.
And
like you.
Yeah. Probably worse, to be honest, but they...
Oh, I thought you were calling her a detail.
So they were at this mall and they were sort of underneath the escalators, like doing their makeup and stuff. And Tim just went along to support, basically. And then someone came up to them and said, you've got quite a big audience out there. We've closed down the shopping centre and we've shut off the escalators. And they were like, what do you mean? They were like, yeah, there's about 5,000 people out there. It had been...
Not much on in Australia.
It had been on TV for 2 weeks. They never did another shopping centre.
Yeah, no,
it was
fair.
Arenas after that. Wow. They were saying like they were often billed in between AC/DC and Kylie, like the 2 other massive famous Australian acts. Yeah,
AC/DC Australia.
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that.
Well, that means you didn't listen to our Art Attack episode where we discuss AC/DC.
Oh, I forget.
Another thing they did was they would... because they would visit children's hospitals, and because they weren't playing characters, like the guy that played Barney, he would do that and he would be in costume and he could sort of disconnect from that. But when they went, they were playing themselves. So, and the last thing a sick child wants is to see their favourite kids' TV presenters crying. So they would take it in turns to like leave the room and like compose themselves, because they had to be themselves, but they had to be like professional. Yeah. So they did that throughout their whole career, basically. And in the live shows, there was a kid that went to every single one of their live shows. He had Down syndrome. He started going when he was 8, so by the time they did their last one, he was 18, and they would like request him to come backstage, and they would talk to him about like his new job and everything, and they were like, oh, you got a job at Pizza Hut, that's great. Like, yeah,
that's really sweet. Really nice. So what I'm hearing is they're just really nice people.
Yeah, they are. And something that in this interview with, well, they've all said this, but especially in this like long podcast episode with Kelly, what she keeps going back to is like the children. Like, it was amazing to do it for them. And the guy that played Barney, Carey, Stinson, he said, well, he was 23 years old and he was doing that like hugging yourself motion that Barney's so famous for. And, you know, at the time, 23 years old, he was feeling a bit silly. And then he said, then you watch thousands of children repeating it and having a great time doing it. And you realise why it's not silly and you're happy to do it.
That's so nice.
I know, you okay?
Elsie cried at Love Island the other night.
I did. I cried. It was the family episode where all the families visit, and it made me really, really cry.
I have mad respect. Like, it's something that I know that I struggle with, of like basically the putting adult things aside and being okay with being silly, like engaging with kids in play. Like, they don't give a fuck. Like, they don't think it's ridiculous that you're playing with them and their dolls. Like, they don't care because they're doing it. They want you to join in. But it's something that I haven't tried to do it in ages, so I don't know how it would go now. But it's something that I found quite difficult to drop, having to act mature and be fucking normal and just fully let go and like be silly. So I have mad respect for how they had to do that so much and they were so capable of it.
When I was born, my uncle was 16, and my dad told me once that my uncle was kind of a bit, no, I'm not doing that, I'm not doing silly things, I'm not like, being a 16, 17-year-old about it. And then one time my dad went into my the kitchen at my grandma and granddad's house, and my uncle was just there, and I was sat in this like chair at the table, and he was just playing with me, and my dad had caught him, and he was like, no, and my dad was like, I've seen you doing it now.
Oh, see, I used to like when we first got my cat.
I wasn't sure where that was going.
2012. I until recently, I've never found myself able to do those like kid voices. So in the first few years that we had my cat, I would be speaking to him like a human.
It's called motherese.
Is it?
Yeah.
Interesting. But I don't do that anymore, but for some reason I did when I was younger. And I remember one time he was sat on my lap and the phone rang and I went, excuse me. And I didn't even realise that I'd done that. And then I went to answer the phone and I was like, wait a minute.
Apparently my uncle has discovered the podcast, and I don't know I don't know if he's listened to any yet, but all my cousins were asking to listen, and I said to him, under no circumstances can they listen. It's
not until they're like 17 years old.
Kids.
Yeah, going back to the thing about not being embarrassed as a children's performer, something that a story Arthur tells me is that when we were young, like I don't know, when you're younger, age gaps are bigger, aren't they?
Yeah.
I said about the Hi-5 cast members in a kind of snarky way, oh, they must have no sense of embarrassment. And Arthur said that he, in that moment, thought I was the coolest person ever. And now I have so much respect for them.
I think they're the coolest people ever.
Me too.
I would love to have that much fun every day of my life.
So Kelly said that like kids TV is such a specific skill because you can't have an off day because the kids will know. It has to be live singing always because the kids will know. You have to, I mean, it's such high energy, you even need to practice when you can breathe in those. Like, you have to enjoy what you're doing, or the kids will know. Like, you cannot feel silly.
Something I could use for a sculpture.
A mystery sculpture?
Yeah, I was going to say a magical sculpture, and I thought I better not say that. That's just stupid.
There's a penis in here.
Is there what?
A penis.
We are recording. Come on, this thing's heavy.
Oh my god.
Get out
Okay.
naked. It's not going to attack you, Kathleen. Don't worry. We are recording.
It might.
Nathan, what about all our lines?
Yeah, we're lines, damn it!
Pardon?
How you going? Well, I'm good, how are you? Well, I'm okay. When I can't work out which voice to do.
Which
neither.
How old are you, Chats?
I'm an indecipherable age. And I'm an indecipherable age too.
I've spent today collecting a few different sounds. Do you want to hear? That's my dog. Oh, sorry. I looked across. That's really stupid.
Hands on the ground and lift one leg up. Oh my god! My pants just ripped!
You know, there's nothing I like better than another take. Can I go back from the beginning? Because I reckon that was really crap. Waddle featherweight.
Sorry. Danuta thought that...
Okay, hold it there. Are you supposed to laugh at the name?
I don't know. The shot goes to me. I've always done it.
Don't laugh.
I don't know. I thought it worked
We're
well.
not supposed to make fun of people's names.
Like Danuta.
Go on, tell her.
Sorry, Helena. Just had to be done.
Should we talk about the bloopers?
Oh yeah.
Oh, the bloopers were so good. I imagine
They're glorious.
I imagine like a crew member or something got this footage out of an archive and put it all together, because it's all on YouTube, but there is no way this was ever on the DVD.
No, exactly. I have to, like, I really, really want to know the source of these fucking bloopers, because if they were on the DVDs,
some hero leaked them.
Yeah, like, because they can't be on the DVDs because almost every single blooper has swearing.
Yeah.
Some of the bloopers have deeply inappropriate funny
and
shit.
sometimes it cuts, so you're watching the person that is in the sketch, and then a second camera like turns around and you can see the other four members behind the camera, like rolling around laughing at them. It looks so collaborative and so fun, and they actually said that it was very collaborative because they all cared so much about it that they would help on the continuity and the moving of things. So if they saw something wrong, the cast members themselves would be like, hang on a minute, stop, and fix it. And in the live shows, because they cared so much about it being the same for the kids, they didn't have stagehands like moving their stuff. They would do it all themselves. They would move all the set and like sustain injuries from doing this. And they never had any understudies because they really did not want to take a day off because they loved doing it so much and they didn't want the kids to be let down.
I've never loved anything so much that I didn't want a day off.
Laura loves a day off. In fact, she works so she can have days off.
Don't we all?
Yeah, honestly.
The bloopers, there's like maybe a swear word in each one, but in the ones with Jup Jup, who's played by Tim, he like plays Jup Jup like he's a proper diva actor, and there is more bleeping.
Get out of my face!
What is this fucking about? I thought we were fucking professionals.
There's more bleeping in those bloopers than there's actual words. Yeah. It's so good.
Screw you! Screw you! I don't need to put up with this shit. Man, I've been listening to your shit all f***ing year, okay? I'm better than you. I'm better than you. I am a professional. You listening to me? I'm a professional. Not like this pinhead pork-eyed head that comes over here all the time. Jeez, don't listen to him. He's a rich motherfucker.
Action 2. Action.
Don't mess with me, okay?
Action.
Jump, you idiot!
Sorry, gee.
Hey, dummy.
Yes.
Oh, can we fire this dummy?
You bastard! I'm gonna kill you!
Oh, bugger.
Hey,
Excellent.
hey,
Oh,
you're
no,
not
you
supposed
don't
to
see me.
look at me. What's your problem? Gee, ow! Ow! Get away!
Bang.
Sorry, that was my fault.
And you can see them working so well together. It's so lovely.
I would say watch a couple episodes before you watch the bloopers because I think it really adds to the bloopers.
And it's strange because I guess I must have watched it a lot as a kid, because when we were watching it, I was like, oh my god, I remember this sketch. And you know how like sounds can embed themselves in your brain, and if you hear a song, you can just finish it. Me and Meg really remembered the in-between little animations between each.
The bit with the body where it's like circle, rectangle, triangle,
circle, rectangle, square.
I really like. It's not often that I'm able to say when we watch these, but like I have never seen it before. I have no memory of it, or I really remember it. It's jogged so many memories, because I think it was my suggestion to do this because so many people had been requesting it. I was like, oh, let's just do it because people really want to hear it. I was not I was like, I remember the intro. I don't know if I really watched it. Clearly, I fucking watched the shit out of this show, and I can see why I liked it then, and I can see why I like it now. Like,
and
I really
some of the
love
songs really are bops.
Yeah,
like,
I really like the heart one.
Yeah, listen to your heart. Yeah, anyway,
I love that one.
There's so many good ones. Like, it's very. It really makes the case for Australia being allowed in Eurovision.
No, it really does, and I like what Nathan was saying in that interview we watched the other day, that the songs like are pop songs. Aside from the lyrics, they'd be on the radio. Like and he was like, they're not like condescending in a way. They're not. It's not kids' music. It's just pop music. That's
not Itsy Bitsy Spider. It's just a normal
the kids
song.
enjoy dancing to it. The parents probably enjoy listening to them, and I fucking love some of them. They're really good.
One of them while we were brushing our teeth yesterday.
As for the because you two brush your teeth together. It's a little insight into our domestic life.
Elsie locks us out the bathroom.
Yeah, I know, because when I brush
I've got an ugly mouth.
I brush my teeth like a monster. I can't have people watching me brush my teeth. It's ugly.
What does that mean? Are you like let it mouth open, letting it all run down your hand kind of? I think
that's how my brother brushes
for the
his
first
teeth.
half I do it in like a
dainty.
I do it in a dainty like movie sort of way, with like my mouth closed with the toothbrush barely visible. But then halfway through I can't maintain that, and it's really ugly.
It's all gonna hang out.
So I do it half and half, and I just can't have people see the process.
We don't care. We don't think you're ugly. We don't think how you brush your teeth is ugly.
You don't yet, but like,
I'm never ever gonna judge someone on how they clean their mouth. There's a lot. There's a lot of crevices.
To be fair, there isn't really room for 3 people around.
No, that's
that
true.
sink, so
there's a lot of crevices in your mouth. You got to do what you got to do.
so my cup is leaking slightly. I'm just
why is this such a thing on this podcast? Is
What cup's leaking?
someone's period cup leaks?
It didn't. Yeah. I was so.
What were you gonna say?
What are you gonna say?
It wasn't blood. Like, I thought I'd leaked blood, and I was like petrified.
She pissed herself.
No, I was petrified of getting blood on the chair in the studio, and I was like, shit. And also, you guys took ages to fucking see my signal.
Wait, it actually wasn't ages. It was about 30 seconds,
Okay,
Laura. It just
felt
felt
like
that's a long
ages.
time when you feel like you're bleeding
When
on
you're
someone
in
else's
fear.
furniture. Anyway, as for the dancing, during the audition phase, there was about 30 teenagers, and they were in the dance studio, and they were learning one of the opening dances. And Kelly said that she turned to a guy next to her, and she was like, "I'm not going to be good at this, so don't copy me." And she was stood right at the back with this guy. This guy was Tim, she later learned. And he was like, it's fine, it's for kids. It was designed so that kids could do it. And everyone else in the room was like trained. I mean, Nathan's a brilliant dancer. Like,
he really puts his fucking
entire
heart, soul and arse into it.
His ankles are so flexible.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Wiggly legged man.
Don't try this at home.
Yeah, like, I'm trying to even just remotely move my ankle like he does. I can't.
He's just a brilliant singer, brilliant. He's so good. They all are. But they were all like not classically trained, but they were like trained dancers, and Tim and Kelly were not. And she said that when he was cast and she was like there with her back of the class friend, like, she was just so relieved, and like they were always the ones that took the longest to learn the dances.
God, they must have had to eat so much food.
He's so hungry.
The calories doing that show that must have burned. Just like at the end of the day, you're like, I need 4 dinners.
I'm so tired and hungry.
Well, she was saying, like, with all the different crews, with like the touring people and like the people on the tour bus and the filming crews and her 4 castmates, when she left after 10 years, like, she said she had to talk to someone about it because she was kind of grieving for it, because it was like her entire life for 10 years. And this person said, well, it's kind of like if your family of near 100 people all died on one plane crash. Like, you don't... Which is quite a dramatic way of saying it, but she was like, that is how it felt.
It's lost.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was lost. And
I mean, you feel sad when you leave school and you don't see your friends every day.
You also, presumably, she, as an adult and doing this day in, day out for the number of hours they did, you form even a closer bond than you do with schoolmates, right?
Yeah. Well, they were saying, like, they were told by producers, like, you don't have to be best friends. You really don't. So what they did early on was establish a kind of
hierarchy.
It's like, no, not everyone is going to want to go to dinner all the time.
Yeah.
So, and they knew that and they respected that. And so because they had that boundary in place, like, it doesn't mean we don't like you. It just means, we're tired.
That's just as we have in this house.
But
exactly.
they went to dinner every night.
They went to dinner every night.
Nathan, it's a little bit squishy.
Yeah.
Can you make it a bit bigger?
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
Okay, you got it?
Yep.
Make sure you clip it up.
Okay, sure.
You got it? Great.
Done.
Done.
Better.
Hey, cool cubby, guys.
Yeah,
Thanks.
can we come in?
Secret Cubby Club handshake.
What?
We have to do our secret Cubby Club handshake. You have to do it before you go into the cubby. It goes like this. Shake up.
Up.
Shake down.
Down.
Side bump.
Bump.
Side bump.
Side bump.
Turn it all around. High 5.
Yeah.
And now we can go into the cubby.
Cool.
Okay.
Nathan.
Yeah?
This is a bit squishy. Can we make it a bit bigger?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Cal.
You got it there, mate?
Yep.
Yeah. Clip it up.
Okay.
Good
Yeah.
stuff.
Better.
Oh, guys, can I come in?
Secret Cubby Club handshake!
There's a secret club handshake?
Sure is, but first you'll have to put the cushion down.
Oh, okay.
Okay, it goes like this. Shake up, shake down, side bump, turn it all around, high five.
Woo!
All right.
Okay. Well, that was fun. Can I come in now?
Sure can.
Okay, come on. Oh, come here. Okay. There you go. Oh,
There's no room for the cushion, Charlie. To this.
Okay, well, I'll just put it out here then. Whoa! Come on, Charlie. Guys, can we make the cubby again, please? Hey, it's so dark. I know, the lights are good.
They still, to this day, all of them keep in touch. They're still really good friends. They were saying, like, we go for years without seeing each other. And, like, Charlie was saying, I saw Nathan in an underpass at a train station. It was like, you know, they were like, oh, my God, I love you. I love you. Like, they're siblings almost, they said, which is awkward for the ones that are engaged. But, you know.
It's horrible when
you're engaged to your sibling.
When two people have to ruin it for the rest of them. You know what they say, Elsie? Don't shit where you eat.
Yeah, well.
Don't shit where you eat. And you really shouldn't shit where you eat. In the same way that you shouldn't fuck your colleague.
My brother's downstairs toilet is right next to the kitchen, and he is so like stringent about shutting the door because you don't shit where you eat.
I mean, ours is not, and I'm still quite stringent about shutting the door.
The toilet door? No, we have a policy in this house because the toilet doesn't have a lock.
Yeah, I fucking shut it. Laura, when I'm shitting, I'll shut that door. I don't care that it's not next to the kitchen.
I don't mean while you're shitting. I just mean permanently have that door shut. Yeah, shut the door while you're pooing.
What?
We're close, but...
What is so funny about our house is, what you need to know is that our toilet door does not have a lock on it, so it's always open unless someone is in the bathroom.
But what it does have on it is a life-size poster of Rob Delaney. Go on, Meg.
So if it's open, it means no one's in it, and if it's closed, it means someone's in it, and that works 99.9% of the time. Now, there's been literally 2 or 3 times in the time we've lived here where one of us has something in our brain has just
not woken up.
It's always in the morning.
Yeah. And we have just opened the door to one of us doing a shit, and it's happened to all 3 of us, and we have been the one to do it. And I don't know why it happens, because it's such a rule that you don't open the door if it's closed. And yet I think the last time this happened to me, it was Elsie, and she opened the door and I went, hey. She went, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Every time I go and do it, I don't clock that I'm not supposed to have done it until I'm turning the door handle.
And you're like,
wait, no, there's someone in there.
Something in your brain
action feels unfamiliar.
This feels, because you don't open it from the outside.
I never have.
No,
well, I have once.
You have once. It's our flat has like a balcony outside the front door, and the bathroom window, like the bathroom window overlooks this balcony. And one time Laura and my boyfriend were playing silly buggers on me.
Oh my God.
At one point in the day, Laura had was it you or was it him that had taken a picture of me through the bathroom window while I was on the toilet? And then later in the day, Laura, I was in the toilet again. Yeah, they teamed up to get back at me for something. I don't know what. And Laura took a picture of me through the bathroom window,
which is from above. It's like behind your head and upwards.
Yeah, and
so Meg goes to look, and it's just like the worst angle.
He opened the door as this was happening. So there's a picture of me, and then like live pictures of me turning around like proper. Huh? It's like he opens the door, and it's like me looking up at the camera and him standing in the background looking really pleased with himself. It's just such an invasion of privacy. We should get a lock for that door.
Yeah, there's only one lock in this entire house other than the front door. It's on the shower room. Our toilet and our shower are separate, and it's like, thank God.
Well, we call the toilet room the Rob room, don't we? Because it's got lots of pictures of Robs in it.
Yeah.
Like, there's a Rob Delaney on the back of the toilet door. There's Robin from Batman.
There's Bob
Mortimer.
Mortimer.
And there's Rob Pattinson.
And there's Rob Pattinson.
Yeah. I couldn't find, so I've watched like interviews with all of them apart from Tim because I couldn't actually find one. But he's not. I've not found anything of him talking about it. But there's some videos on YouTube of him with his guitar singing songs from Hi-5 with his 4-year-old. So they're supposedly singing the songs together, but what it is, it's him singing and her barely grasping the words but kind of standing next to him, moving her mouth, and he looks the happiest I've ever seen a person look. He's just playing his guitar, looking at her, singing the songs. She's trying. She doesn't even clock him looking at her. And there's a couple of those on YouTube, and the songs stand up, and their voices are still brilliant. They're
Elsie
all still
looks
fantastic.
like she's going to shed a tear.
I'm not going to shed a tear. I'm fine.
Crying is perfectly fine.
It's too hot to cry right now.
It's very warm.
And my last note that I've got in my notes is a bit of UK trivia. So Kelly's dad is English and her mum's Scottish.
I thought her dad was Scottish.
Why?
Because I looked it up earlier.
Oh, maybe I have got it the wrong way round.
One of her parents is Scottish.
Yeah, sorry, one of them is definitely Scottish.
But either way, her dad played professional football for one of the Leeds teams. I don't know which one it is, but Dennis Crawford. If anyone from Leeds, if any Leeds fans, either
it's a really
one.
Scottish name, mate.
It is a bit, yeah. So I don't know who Dennis Crawford played for, but he was a professional football player for one of the Leeds teams. Jup Jup, my favourite. I happen to remember that when I was a kid, oh my god, I loved Jup Jup because
I loved the bits with Kathleen. Those that's what I remember from Hi-5.
Kathleen and Jup Jup are a really funny pair. The salad she made in one of the episodes is the most inedible salad I've ever seen.
Oh my god. Yeah, so
who puts raw mushrooms in a salad?
She's making it.
Chops up. What was the big one's called?
Big mushroom.
Big mushroom.
Porcini? No, they're not.
Portobello.
Portobello
Who
mushroom.
puts a whole ass portobello mushroom cut into quarters in a salad?
Yeah, so she's making a garden salad and she's supposed to put cherry tomatoes and button mushrooms in it. I don't know why. And Jup Jup steals those, so she cuts a big tomato into quarters and a big portobello mushroom into quarters, and that's her salad.
Unless you're giving that to a giant, that's not a salad. Like you can't fit any of that whole in your mouth, right? It looks like the recipe makes it look like a Sims salad.
You're actually missing the most ridiculous part of that, which is Jup Jup replaces her lettuce with a Brussels sprout.
True.
And she takes the leaves off the Brussels sprout and puts that in the bowl.
It's like, don't be silly, Kathleen.
Come on now.
Have a pizza.
Yeah.
So
I do love them though. I love her and a little klepto mate that she never sees, and a lot of the bloopers are her and him because she keeps
accidentally seeing. Bugger! I saw him.
Yeah, the whole point is that she doesn't know he exists and things keeps going missing.
She must think she's haunted.
Yeah,
I
mean, she keeps accidentally looking at him.
Her walls are like gaslighting her.
Yeah,
it's quite. I mean, it could take a dark turn if you wanted it to.
Yeah, that could send a woman mad.
You could go crazy living in that set.
Imagine if every time you tried to make a salad, someone replaced your lettuce with Brussels sprouts.
Bigger food.
You'd be like,
food.
How head empty you'd have to be
fine with it.
To be fine with that.
To just assume that I must have got out a Brussels sprout for this salad. No, you'd go and check the fridge. Be like, no, I definitely got out some lettuce.
But
right?
Jup is like just crack for 5-year-olds because it's a little puppet popping out of a wall full of cupboards that the presenter can't see. It's like the whole he's behind you humour. It's like, obviously as a kid it was the funniest thing to me. I loved it.
Sorry, I know that they're all really talented people, but I do think they were all made for panto. Like, that's the kind of energy you'd hope a panto actor to have.
Yeah.
Dirt Boy was a boy who just loved dirt.
Yeah, it's true. I love dirt.
Dirt Boy liked to play in the dirt, dig in the dirt, make mud pies out of dirt, and at night he even dreamed of, guess what?
Dirt. Dirt. Dirt.
Any other comments about...
I'm sure I do have other comments.
Because we loved it, didn't we?
We really did.
Had such a good time.
I just kind of liked all of it because it's like just charming and lovely.
Yeah.
My favourite bit was when Nathan was covered in dirt and he said, dirt.
Just like those stories like, oh, and he had a dream last night. What was it about?
Dirt.
Dirt.
Yeah, he was playing a character called Dirt Boy.
Please insert clip here.
I will, but it's not the same without the visual. It's what he's doing with his face.
So funny.
So can we watch it again?
The bit where they're all pretending to be dogs.
Yeah, there's a scene where Tim is singing a lullaby to his dog to get his dog, and it's a real dog to get the dog asleep. Yeah. And 3 other cast members come on dressed as dogs, and they all fall asleep as well. And he goes, "Night, night," and says his dog's name, and then he says, "Night, night, other doggies."
Strays that have wandered in from the street.
There's Munchtown. The stories at the end have, I think, the capacity to be the most ridiculous because they're all there.
Yeah.
And there's one where they're set in Munchtown, where it's essentially like Hansel and Gretel, where all of the homes are made of edible things.
And they've never heard of cooking before.
Never heard of cooking. So they just slowly eat their town.
They're just eating, yeah, because it's kind of like a thinly veiled metaphor for climate change, because they're asked like, well, what happens when our houses are all gone? It doesn't matter. And then they're like starving at the end because it's like
they're trying to eat a normal fence.
Yeah, they go to a different town and try to eat a regular fence, and they're like, oh, this is disgusting.
This is the house. Come on, let's eat.
The Munchtown people got to the gate of the house.
Yum, a fence. 2, 4, 6, 8. Munch in, don't wait.
There was just one problem with the fence. It wasn't a Munchtown fence. It was a real land fence. It wasn't food at all.
Ugh, you're telling me? This is disgusting.
This is shocking. Tastes terrible.
Well, it's a fence made of wood.
Oh, sorry.
No offense, but why are you trying to eat my fence?
Well, ours are all gone.
All gone?
Yeah, we ate them. And the furniture. Great food, mind you.
And the
What are
Tim
you
character
doing,
is
man? Why are
like,
you trying to eat my fence?
respectfully, why are you eating my fence?
And then he's like, oh, we cook our food. Would you like to come in for some food? It's like, if, 3 people showed up and were trying to eat your fence.
2 crackers turn up in your garden. They're like gnawing on the wood of your fence. You're like, I might call the police.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's so funny because it's like Nathan is the one with like the most energy, and he's like running around this set, tearing it apart and chewing it, and it's so good.
Bless him. He is so. They are all so good at like
exactly what they're doing.
They're
exactly
so
what they're doing.
lovable. Like at first, when
I'd
I
love
watched,
to be ridiculous for a living.
yeah. I watched the first few episodes and I was like, Tim looks slightly embarrassed to be there. And then I did a whole turnaround on Tim.
Yeah, I
was
loved
like,
him.
I loved him
I don't
now.
know what made me change my mind. I was just like, no, he's just not as...
I think every so often you catch a look in his eye where there's a present awareness with what he is doing, and you can see it and you're like, I feel you, bro. Where everyone else is none of that.
But also, you've got to remember that he's Jup. So that he's there's somewhat of freak in him. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's got freak in him.
I think he's probably the best at improv, just based on the bloopers.
Yeah.
Based on the way that Jup acts. I think he just needs to be hidden behind a puppet to really let it all out.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah.
Does one of them do Chatterbox?
I don't know who does Chatterbox. That's a very good point. If you know, tell. I didn't find any information about that.
Oh, a brief, quick thing I liked is because the show is clearly meant to be super, super accessible to every fucking kid. Another way they do this is a bunch of the costumes and stuff that they wear, if they're dressed up as animals, are made of household items.
Really?
Yeah,
so
like they're dressed up as a crocodile at one point.
Yeah,
and
it's an egg carton.
Is the like Jaws?
Yeah. And then this bit where Tim's a pig, and that I think is a single part of an egg carton is his nose.
Yeah, they did a lot of pig related content.
Yeah. And then there's like rocks made of paper.
As Meg pointed out, you could just get a rock.
Yeah, they're like, oh, look at that rock, it's made out of paper.
Yeah.
It's the same size and shape as a rock. Why don't you just get a rock?
And I like it when, like, without even highlighting, oh, do this at home yourself, a kid could. They could go off, get some pipe cleaners, be a bee.
Yeah. I have really enjoyed this episode.
Yeah, I really, I think it's worth a watch.
And I probably, I mean, should we watch them tonight? I would really like to. Can we watch Dirt Boy again, please?
Dirt Boy is so funny.
Please, can we watch Dirt Boy again?
Dirt Boy.
Please.
Dirt.
They're not saying yes.
Anyway, high five. Anyway, high five, people. We love you.
We really do.
We really respect you.
Thank you for not like getting yourselves cancelled in the meantime. Like,
Oh yeah, thanks for continuing to be good people.
Thank you for letting me still love you.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to go convalesce quietly somewhere.
What does that mean?
She's
Get
gonna
better.
get better.
Cool. I'm gonna open the doors.
Yes, let's open the doors. Let's get some air in here. Let's get some airflow.
Open the doors and
Jesus return.
Take
Seeds of his spirit, let the fruit grow. Tell the people of Jesus, let his love flow.
Now open light up the
fire and let the flame burn. Open the door, let Jesus return.
There we go. Really good. Really
Very good.
Really good banger for you there.
Thanks for listening.
As always.
Have a good evening or day.
You can find us on Twitter at thoughts__TV.
On Instagram at ThoughtsTV, the O is a 0, or on TikTok at ThoughtsTV Pod. Really need to get back on TikTok. I've neglected you a bit too long.
We have,
Sorry.
haven't we? It's all right.
You can email us at thoughtstv2002@gmail.com, and our Discord is linked on the socials. We're there chatting occasionally. See you later.
See you.
See you later.